Alright guys, so I'm working on a dub techno track entitled Ital Forest Dub, and it's part of a release I'm working on. Depending on when you see the video, it might be finished or not. If it is, there's a link right here and down in the comments. But owing to that awesome title of the track, I'd like to actually put some ambient forest field recording sounds in there. So I wanted to show you my process on how I do that. So I released a sample pack earlier this year called Sounds of a Forgotten World, and inside it there were many natural field recordings from the forests around here in Laos, and there was a sample in there which I really wanted to use in this track, and that sample was this sample. So let's just put in an audio track and I'm going to drag it in there. So there's a link for the sample pack right here and down in the comments, by the way guys. It's full of really lush field recordings and ambient dub chords and great stuff for ambient techno too, so please go check that out. So let's take this field recording and just drag it onto an audio track here. And let's just loop it. See how it sounds. So straight away, I can hear a bit of low end rumble coming in there. So what I'm going to do is get an EQ, and I've soloed the track, right? So we can hear what's going on. And visually there on the EQ, we can see it's got a lot of low end rumble. So I'm going to give it high pass and just roll all of it off up to about there. And also there's a lot of high end noise coming through from other insects and animals, and I'd like to just tame that a bit. So let's roll off the top end a bit too. So we're just basically isolating out the sound of the birds here. Could try a steep cut filter on the EQ. But that kind of disturbs the recording in a way. It's when you're working with sounds like this. Field recording was recorded with a stereo field recorder, and it's completely unprocessed, and I'd like to keep it that way. Something I like to do with my music is to keep it as clean as possible and as least amount of processing as possible, and just keeping it nice and natural and having sounding more human, okay? So a gentle slope on that filter. Let's just roll it off a bit more. To about there, okay? And also you'll notice in this recording there's a lot of dynamic range. So over here it's a bit louder, you got these loud peaks, and I'd like it to be more consistent. So I'm just going to loop like this section here where it's a more consistent volume, okay? And let's listen to that with the track now. So it's too loud, so I'm going to adjust the volume. So around about there, sounding okay for now. But I'd like to have it fade in. So if we listen to this section of the track, I'm gonna just draw in some automation here to have it fade in. We're automating the volume on the volume fader, just to have it fade in. Lovely, so that's working nicely. But I'd like to sidechain this to the kick. I've got a dub chord track up here with a sidechain compressor on it already set up. I'm just going to copy that over to this new track. just so that it fits and gels the groove more. So that's working really nicely. Let's just listen to it as it evolves through the track. Working really nicely. So what I'd like to do for this next section here, as everything's fading out for the end of the track, I'm gonna bring in a new sample. So let's go back into Sounds of a Forgotten World, and there's another sample in here of some bamboo trees creaking in the forest. Once again, there's a link for the sample pack right here and down in the comments. And what I'm going to do is just drag this sample onto the same track for this end section. And if we zoom in right here, let's just choose a start point for this sample so it doesn't fade in. Start it there. So if I zoom right in here, we can actually fade between these two clips. So if we drag this little block here, we can pull it across. And for this new section of the song, this sample will fade in. Okay. So let's just take a listen to that. So yeah, that's working really nicely, and that's the basic technique, guys. So get your field recording, EQ out the range you want to hear, and maybe sidechain it to the kick or something. Fade it in, fade it out, and throw another field recording in there for like different sections for your bridge or your build up to the drop or whatever. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like more content like this, exclusive content, Ableton live sets, samples and more, that's all available on my Patreon. There's a link for that right here and down in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Peace.